I truly believe that there is a right way and a wrong way to start getting into improvisation. And it might be the case that if you're still feeling overwhelmed and struggling whenever you attempt to improvise, then you just might be starting in the wrong place. So in this video, I'll give you the correct place to start for beginners with improvisation, especially if you're self-taught. But could it really be that simple? Let me show you what I usually do. And the problem with improvisation is that we immediately associate infinite possibilities. And that is somewhat the case. Like, of course, when you're improvising, you're not trying to set any rules for yourself. So technically, you could play anything, right? But then again, if you play anything, it doesn't really sound like music. So contrary to what you might think intuitively, there are actually rules for improvisation. And especially for beginners, if you're just starting to get into it, the more rules you still give yourself, the easier it is to improvise. So I really believe that creativity is something that can happen on the smallest scale. So a great creativity and improvisation exercise for you to break this limiting belief that you can't improvise is to just literally play one note. We don't even play any chords, no left hand, no nothing, no scales, key, whatever. We just pick one note. Let's just pick a C. And try and see what you can do with this note. Improvise with it. And I'll just give you a second here to try this for yourself. And now let me show you some ideas that I would, for example, come up with what you can do with this one note. Right, that was just some ideas. So you can, for example, you can change how often you play it, how fast you play them. Do you play them with the pedal or without pedal? Do you change the dynamics? Do you play some notes softer, some notes louder? So as a beginner in general, more rules when improvising are better. So let me show you some rules that are great for self-taught beginners. Now, for example, when you're thinking of improvisation in a jazz style, you might be thinking scales. But then again, scales are something you have to learn, and with scales, you immediately have less rules in the sense of that there's a lot of notes in a scale that you still have to choose from. So let's pick a very simple rule and one you might already be somewhat familiar with: chords. So most of you probably know some basic chords, so these are a great starting point for improvisation. So as I showed you in the beginning, I was doing exactly this. I had this one progression where I had 4 chords and I just used pretty much the notes of the chords to improvise. So let me show you this progression that I was using in the beginning. The chords were A minor, then F major, then C major, and the last chord was D minor. It's a beautiful progression. It's got that balanced major and minor sound. We have 2 minor chords, 2 major chords, and there's a lot you can do with it. Now, in general, if you're not that sure with chords yet, or you're still looking for like a structured routine to actually practice chords to get better at this, because you probably know that getting better at chords is maybe one thing that's holding you back right now, or at least it would be it would transform your piano playing if you were able to play chords confidently in all 12 different keys using patterns and even applying melodies or improvisation to them. So if you want to learn more about that, I have a free community and a free beginner course in there. It's great if you're starting out with chords or looking for a structured system, 5-day foundation course. Just click the link below this video in the description or in the pinned comment, and I hope to see you there inside. Now, getting back to this progression, the first step would be to learn this progression and being able to switch between the chords, right? If we want to improvise with those, we have to first be able to play the progression. So play this a couple times and try to count 4 for each chord, for example. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now we've learned a chord progression. We can play some chords, but our goal was to improvise, right? So yeah, how do we do this? Let's start improvising. Let me show you how. So now let's use the things we already have under our fingers, right? We don't want to add any new notes or scales or whatever new, like, unlimiting things that we have to take into account. Let's just use the things we already have, which are the chord tones in the right hand. So let's not change anything about the left hand, but now instead of pressing the chord once and counting to 4, let's play 4 different notes. And we can choose those notes now from our right hand. Now we have 1, 2, 3 options to play 4 notes. So we can play 3 notes and then repeat 1 note. We can play 2 notes 2 times. We can play 1 note 4 times. That's just some combinations you have. So let me show you. For example, very simple to go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. For example. And then you switch to the next chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some other options, as I said, could be playing 2 notes twice. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you can play 1 note 4 times, or you can even hold it for like 2 beats 2 times. So for example, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you switch to the next chord shape. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like this. And now you're already improvising. Now, for example, you could just stick with this and explore, see what you can do. In general, what I would recommend is really take some more time with the more limiting set of rules and then afterwards expand. Like, for example, what we're going to get into in just a second is different inversions, different combinations to play chords, notes, and even other notes. But all of those things should probably come a bit later. So you could stick with this for a week. Like, just explore this, try and maybe see, like, find all the possibilities from this limiting set of rules. And this is really, it allows you to be creative, because again, the more limiting rules we have, the more creative we have to be in the end to not have it become boring, because we all know our brain doesn't like being bored, right? There's this one study where they had a person in a room locked with a button where they can shock themselves, give themselves an electric shock. And the people would rather press the button and shock themselves than just be bored. So I know it's gonna suck, and your brain knows that too. So the more you get bored, the more creative you'll be. So let me show you some more ideas and how to expand this and get into some more advanced improvisation that would sound closer to what I played in the beginning. Now the first step is, of course, playing different inversions. So far we had only root position chords, which we play with 1, 3, 5, and it's always this play 1, leave 1, play 1, leave 1, play 1 formula. That's root position. Now, for example, we can use first inversion as well, which we play with 1, 2, 5, or we can also use second inversion, and we can do this for all the chords. Like this. Now, again, if this is going too fast for you, I'm not going to go into a whole explanation about inversions, because again, I have this great just beginner course on teaching chords and inversions. So if you want to learn everything about those, how to find those quickly, how you can practice them, then again, just click the link, join my free community, and go through the 5-day foundation course. Everyone loves it who's taking it inside and seeing great progress. So definitely join to just learn more about inversions and get really good with those. So with this progression, an exercise I'd recommend is just doing the same thing where we count to 4. But now, instead of just playing any single notes or holding it for 4 counts, what we're going to do is we're going to play different inversions on each count. So it's as simple as we start on root position every time, and then we go up to first inversion on 2, then we go to second inversion, 3, and on the fourth count back down to first inversion. So it's always root, first, second, first. Then next chord F major, root, first, second, first. Now go to C major, root, first, second, first, and again, root, first, second, first. Now this is a great exercise because it allows you to quickly change between inversions, and what we did in the beginning, where we play with these chord tones, if we have the inversions, we have a lot more possibilities suddenly, because we can only switch between those here really. Now if we have, for example, second inversion as well, we create an entirely different sound and it sounds very unique already. So one more time, let me show you how you can improvise then with these different inversions. For example, what we can do is for the first 2 counts, so we still stay in this 4/4 time signature. For the first 2 counts, play one inversion, and then for the next 2 counts, switch to another inversion, and then play with those notes. So that could sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, for example. Now what you can do then, of course, is to give yourself more options, right? As we get bored again with this and we feel like right now it's just really constricting us, and it's not because like we get overwhelmed if we sort of loosen our rules a little bit, but we just really want to have more options. That's a great point to then move on. So for example, you could start playing eighth notes. So instead of 4 notes per chord, you now have 8. So again, we could do 2 different inversions and play 4 notes for each inversion, which would sound like this. And again, of course, you don't have to play continuous eighth notes now, because it's less maybe sounding like improvisation and melody, but more just like noodling around, right? Experimenting with patterns, which is great. We're improvising as well, right? Improvisation is just coming up with things on the spot. But now let's make it sound more like a melody. So we want to do less of this noodling around, but hold some notes for longer, repeat some notes, and then it's going to sound immediately more natural. For example. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more tutorials like these from me, then scroll down right now and subscribe to my channel. We're trying to reach 10,000 subscribers, maybe by the end of this year. And also give this video a like and a hype if you have this option. That's a really important step to help this video get seen by the algorithm. So thank you so much for your support. You guys are amazing. And again, I hope to see you inside Better Chords Academy. That's the link in the video description or in the pinned comment. And I'll see you guys again in the next lesson.